First, I want to welcome everyone to class. Here is Kharis Creations Tutorials. I'm Simeon Grace, and so our jumpsuit is what we are going to be making today. But first, I want us all to understand or have a clue of what we are going to be doing. So I'm trying to sketch out both the bodies, they have bodies, and then the trouser part of our jumpsuit. So here is the trousers, the half length, and here is the trousers. Now, when you're taking the measurements between your half length and where your trousers will start, of course, there is a distance. So first, you're going to get the length from your shoulder to your half length. You get the full length of your jumpsuit as well. You also take the length of your trousers. So this is the length of the half length. You take the length of your trousers, and you also take the full length of your jumpsuit. Now you note your distance, like I said, that's between the half length and your trousers. You note the distance. For this measurement, it is 4 inches. Now the measurements we're going to be working with, I have the length of 13 inches. That's from shoulder to under bust 13, then shoulder to half length 15, and the full length 56. Then I have the back, that's the shoulder measurement, 15 inches. Bust circumference is 36, under bust circumference 28, waist is 30, while the hip measurement is 36 inches. All right, now what will be done, you're going to all the circumference measurements. If you're not going to add your lining, it is going to be plus 4 divided by 4. That is your measurement divided by 4 plus 1. That's if you're not going to add lining. But if you're going to add lining, it is going to be plus 8 divided by 4, which is your measurement divided by 4 plus 2 inches. So whichever way you want to go, you can go with that. So the half length of 15 is what we're going to be measuring out first. So half length is 15 inches. I'm going to add 1 inch to make it 16 inches. That's the half length. Now the next thing to get is the armhole length. For this measurement is 8.5. Yours could be 9 inches for a bigger size, and for a plus size 9.5 or 10 inches. You also note here is the 8.5, which is the armhole, and then you get the under bust length from shoulder, which is 13 inches for this measurement. Under bust length. All right, the next thing to do is to take the shoulder measurement, which is 15. So shoulder, the 15 divided by 2 will give us 7.5 inches. So I'm taking out my 7.5 inches. The bust circumference will be taken here, which is below the 8.5, and 36 plus 4 divided by 4, of course, that is 10 inches, while the under bust circumference will be taken below the under bust length, and that is 28 plus 4 divided by 4, which is 8 inches. So you can just go ahead, connect your points. If you have your curves, you can make use of it, or always, I want to always find my way, so that wherever I am, even without my set, I can continue to cut. So here you have your straight line, and then you have your bust line. Then you can, from that angle 90, you can take your 1.5 inches. Then here you need to get the midpoint of your 8.5 of your armhole. So that's 4.25. If yours is 9 inches, your midpoint will be 4.5. So at the midpoint, you come in by 0.5, so you can connect and you have your right armhole. Just as simple as that. All right, so the next is for us to cut. Now what we need to do next is place the front pattern on our pattern in order to get the back piece. So whatever you have here on the front is what we're going to be cutting out. But remember to add your zipper allowance. So for myself, I'm adding 1.5 inches for the zipper allowance. So whatever you have, just place the front and then you cut. Now that we have done that, here while you're cutting the back, we subtracted 0.5 inches from the front armhole at the midpoint. You do not need to do that on the on the back piece. Now we move to the zipper area, but first let us get our neck designs. You can always go with any neck design of your choice, but for me, I am going with the neck width of 3 inches and the depth of 4 inches for the front, while the back depth is 1.5 inches, a round neck for the front, of course. And of course, on the armhole, you are going to measure 1 inch in order to slant the shoulder, just like this. And of course, we're good to go, so we can cut out the neckline. Alright, now to eradicate the bulge part on our zipper area, we are going to take the length. Now you can always measure on the person if you want to, or yes, for accuracy, for accurate measurement, you measure on the person. You get a point that goes in at the back so that you can take in the measurement. So I'm taking in 1 inch from the measurement. Mine is 10 inches, so I'm taking in 1 inch. Just like this, then you slant to the point that's from the 10 inches, you take in 1 inch, then from the neckline to your 1 inch, you slant and then you cut. Alright, now that we have the front and also we have the back piece, you can fold your fabric and then place your pattern on it to cut. So we are going to move to the trouser part of our jumpsuit. First, we need to get the crotch length. And how do we get the crotch length? The measurement is hip divided by 4 plus 1 inch. Hip is 36 divided by 4 will give us 9 inches, plus 1 is equal to 10 inches. So now we need to get the 4 inches. That's the distance on our measurement. The 4 inches, we took the half length, we took the trouser length, then we have a distance. So the distance measurement 4 inches plus the 10 inch of our crotch length will now be 14 inches when we're going to take the measurement on the trouser. Then to fold our fabric is going to be the hip a hip plus 4 divided by 4, that is 10, plus ease. The ease measurement now varies with size. For a small child, it's 2.5. For a small size, it is 3. For medium, 3.5. For large, 4 inches, and then like that, 4.5 for extra large, of course. So we have 10 plus 3.5 inches for the size, and that is what 13.5 inches. So that is the crotch. That's the folding majorly. If you're working with your fabric straight up, all you just need to fold is your 14 inches. Alright, so now we move to the length. We already cut out 15 inches as the half length. 56 is the full length, so automatically we have 41 inches length. So I'm going to add to the 41 inches, I'll make it 43 inches. So here is my 43 inches length, which I am measuring out. Alright, now we are going to start with the 4 inches, which is the distance between the half length and our trousers. So I'll make it 4.5 because of my seam allowance. And from the distance, of course, we get the crotch length, and our crotch length is 10 inches. So here I am taking the 10 inches. Now, this is going to be our crotch point. This is our crotch point, definitely. So on the crotch point now is where we are going to have the effect of the ease measurement, and our ease measurement is 3.5 inches. So here is the 10 inches, and of course from the measurements, of course the is 3.5, so we have 13.5 inches. Now from the crotch point to the top, what I am going to be measuring is the hip measurement, and that is 10 inches. So I'm going to take 10 inches all the way to the top. So you can connect your point just like this. And of course on the angle 90, you're going to take 1.5 inches in order to connect your crotch, just like this. Now after that has been done, from our trousers measurement, we also need the upper thigh, we need the lower thigh, and then we need the ankle. So the measurements here, the upper thigh I use 24, the lower thigh I use 20, and the ankle I use 14 inches. Now all those measurements is going to be plus 2 divided by 2, and that is because it is a separate leg, one leg for each, so it is plus 2 divided by 2 inches. So our upper thigh is now 13, our lower thigh is 11, and the ankle is 8 inches. Now to get the upper thigh, you can always measure the distance, but most times you take 3 inches. That means you have to move to the move up a bit when you are taking the upper thigh measurement. So we get 13.5 is our folded measurement. That means we have 5 inches left because 13 is our measurement. So that means we take 0.25 and 0.25 at the front and at the back. Then from the upper thigh, you get the distance to where you are going to take your lower thigh measurement. And of course, that is 11 inches from 13.5. That means we have 3.5 inches excess. That means we're going to take 1.75 and 1.75. Then of course at the base, that's the ankle measurement is 8 inches. So for the 8 inches out of 13.5 inches, that means we have 5.5 inches excess. And 5.5 inches excess, that is 2.75 here at the front and 2.75 at the back. Trying to get my measurement correctly. So it's 2.75 and 2.75. So that has been done. The next thing we're going to do is to connect our point. If you want a wider measurement, you can just take that. If you want palazzo trousers, you can just take that. So you connect your point from there to the crotch length. So of course we need to cut and then you stop. So I am just going to use the pattern to explain that of the back. For the back piece, all you're going to do is at your crotch area, you're going to add 1 inch starting from the crotch point. You're going to measure 1 inch. I'm going to measure 1 inch. You're going to measure 1 inch. You're going to measure 1 inch. So you're going to just connect your point like this. That's for the back pattern. Then from the crotch points, you connect back to your upper thigh measurement. And the cutting is as simple as that. That is how we're going to cut the pattern for the back. So you can place the back piece, fold your fabric, and use it to cut. That's for the back. Then if you're going to be cutting your fabric, you just place your pattern. You make sure you double your fabric. You place your pattern and you cut. Then for the front pattern, you maintain your normal measurement just as it were. now that that has been done, here we're going to take the waist measurement. So it's from the hip measurement to measure backward. The waist measurement is 8 inches, and then I'm going to connect from the hip just like this, and I'll cut. That's for the waist. So you are going to place your pattern on your fabric just like I said, and then you cut, fold the front, fold the back, and then you can move to joining. All right.